What's up, guys? This is the next part of turning $1,000 to $100,000 flipping cars. And to continue this series, the last time we didn't have the best luck going to the auction, but I will say it was in the middle of tax season, so prices were a little bit higher than they usually would be. But we're going to be trying our luck one more time. I have a feeling that we could possibly get something. I see prices getting a little bit better, and we still have $3,400 that we could spend on our next cars. So let's see what we can come up with. What's up, guys? As a quick intro, my name is Jamal from Flipping University. In this channel, I help people that might not have too much mechanical experience go from amateur to expert flipping cars so that they can build a life of freedom, doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But I'm not gonna hold this up too much. Let's just see what it's like when we get to the auction this time. All right, we are back again, guys. We're back at the auction. This is a little bit after what the normal tax refund time would be for a lot of people, so hopefully we should have a little bit better luck with cars today. Having a good feeling about today, but we'll see. Now again, we're gonna try to blow through things as quickly as possible, just because again there's gonna be a lot of people just like that guy over there driving around, checking to see if we are driving the cars around. And you guys already know me, if you checked out the channel before, I do not buy any cars without being able to drive it. It would have to be an amazing deal that I could probably get for like 500 bucks or so, where I could just bring it to the junkyard and get my money back if I wasn't able to drive it like that. So otherwise, if it's a car like we're trying to get today that could possibly be around $3,000 all in, I gotta drive that thing. But let's try to blast through everything to see what we can get. Okay, so this is the first one. This is actually the same car that I started this series up. It was a Ford Escape that I got. I believe I got it for like 800 bucks or so and sold it for like 2,000. That was a very nice flip. I got that off of ACV auctions, not the one here. But let's see what the story is with this one. This one still has an inspection sticker that's good until later this year. It's a 2004 Ford Escape with 142,000 miles. Overall, the condition looks like it's in pretty good condition. I would say this is better condition overall actually than the car that I got before. It's a leather interior as well. Let's see if it starts up. And yes, it does. Is there an engine light on? And yes, there is. Let's check to see what it's on for. And again, as a quick thing, if you guys are not checking out cars with an OBD scanner every single time, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. That's way too much of a risk. You need to not only be checking what the engine codes are, but also what the iron readiness status is like to see if they actually cleared the codes or not. So there's two things with this one. The engine codes that it came up in itself really isn't too bad. It's things that I could fix myself for a pretty quick and easy time. But I do see that if you check here, it looks like the iron readiness status was cleared. And one of them, as you could see, is cleared for the catalytic converter module. If it was one of the other modules, I really wouldn't care as much, but if the catalytic converter is bad, I'm gonna have to sell the car for a lot less money. But this is what I mean though, where you need your scanner, because if I didn't know that that was the case, then I could have been in some big trouble before, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Whoever bought this car, they might have just kept the codes that's on there now. They might have cleared whatever the catalytic converter codes are so that they could sell the car for a little bit more. That's the sketchy stuff that dealers be doing. But on to the next car. This is the next one right here. It's a 2003 Honda Civic. It has 121,000 miles, which is pretty low actually for a Civic. The body is a little dinged up there. Looks like the tail light is a little cracked. Oh, good, and the inspection is actually good until next year. But let's see what the rest of it's like. It does start up. There's no codes coming up so far. There's no engine light that's on, but let's see if there's any codes that's cleared. Oh, and there's a mean squeal that's coming from the belts. And we got ourselves another one. Codes are also cleared for this one. And I will say, let's say if this was private sale and it was a very cheap car, or the car was going for a lot less money than normal, then it's possible that I would still get the car, even with the codes being cleared. But with this being at the auction, honestly, a lot of these dealers are either dumb enough to not check the codes before they buy the car, and then they'll get burned later, or they'll end up buying the car, checking the codes, and then they won't care about if it has a code themselves, because they're also just going to clear it when they sell it to the next customer. But I'm not trying to do that. Just gonna go to the next one. And here we are with the next one. This one's a 2010 Ford Explorer. Also should be within our price range. This one has a nice red to it. Has a little bit of paint problems on the side, but it's nothing too crazy. Good tires and all. Let's see if she starts as well. All right, and it starts as well. Actually doing pretty well nowadays with cars that actually start. Some of the times before where I used to go to the auction, it used to be where I'd be going from car to car where probably half of the cars didn't even start, which is pretty annoying because again, then it also resets the codes as well. But let's check to see if there's any codes that's been cleared with this one. Awesome, so this is the first car so far that doesn't have any codes, doesn't have any codes cleared too. So I'm just gonna check this, make sure everything works with it. Then I'm gonna go under the hood and see what the story is like with that. Okay, so now the usual check is just checking to see the main things like under the engine cap, making sure there's no indications of a blown head gasket, as well as on the dipstick, and it's looking all good. And I'll try to throw on screen a picture of what one would look like with the blown head gasket as well. Let's see if there's any leaks around the engine and any leaks coming from underneath as well. All right, everything's looking real good so far. Now I'm just gonna do a quick check to make sure that there's no one here watching us to see if we're driving around. And we're just gonna try to go through a couple of gears to make sure it actually shifts. All right, so this one's looking good so far. It actually doesn't even really need any work. We could basically just buy it and sell it as it is. It doesn't even really need much of a detail. It's actually pretty clean. But we'll see if it goes under price range. Dealers might end up spending a lot for this since it needs no work at all. They might be able to just buy it and throw it right on their showroom floor. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's keep everything moving. This is the next one up. E83, it's a 2007 Mitsubishi Outlander. Looks like it's in pretty good condition overall. Interesting little taillights in the back, but it's looking good. Let's see if it starts up. There is a little bit of clear coat peeling on the hood, but nothing too bad. Leather interior. And it does indeed start up. The wheel is actually kind of tough to spin, so it might need a power steering pump. And it looks like the service engine light is on, so let's see what it's on for. And I'm good. Not only is the engine light on, but it looks like the codes have been reset as well, so I'm gonna just pass on it. Okay, there's the next one. It's a 2008 Mazda CX-7. Inspection is also good until later this year. Looks like it could use a bit of a detail outside. Leather interior. Okay, this one's looking pretty good so far. There's no codes that's in the system. No codes have been cleared. One thing I did see so far though, it looks like there's a problem with the window. It might need a window regulator. But let's pop the hood and see what's going on after. Okay, gonna have to start moving a little faster with things. The auction's gonna start pretty soon. And there's a lot more people starting to come here as well. But I checked under the engine cap. Everything's looking good under there. It doesn't look like there's any leaks in the system. No leaks underneath as well. All right, now I'm also gonna take a quick test drive with this one. All right, it shifted through the gears, all good. So we're also gonna be bidding on this one. Okay, now this next lane has a good amount of our cars. This whole B lane, it probably has like 10 cars we're gonna be checking out. Starting with this one, we're gonna work our way down. There's a 2007 Ford Explorer. Again, still trying to just speed through things, but still be thorough enough to make sure we're not buying a lemon. Let's see if she starts. All right, looking good. It's not showing us any engine lights, but let's see if there's anything coming up in the system. All right, another car that actually is good with the codes and everything. Usually most of the cars that I'm going through have some crazier engine codes on, or the check engine lights have just been reset, but so far so good. Check under the engine cap, looks good. As well as the dipstick, also looks good. See if there's any leaks around. As well as under the car. Okay, this one also looks good, so we're also gonna be bidding on this. All right, this is the next one. We got ourselves a 350Z convertible. This has 150,000 miles on it. This would be a pretty cool car to have for a bit. Looks like it's in good condition too. Oh, there is a bit of a rip in a convertible top though. And that might be a decent amount to repair. Otherwise, there's gonna be a lot of water leaking through. I don't know if I want to get into a job like that. Might have to just pass on it. All right, this little one here is the next car. It's a 2007 Honda Fit. I'm sure these things are extra good on gas. But I think it's a manual transmission. I didn't even see that when I was looking at the post. and I wouldn't really want to get a manual car like this, so just gonna pass on it. And there's the next one. This one has a little bit higher mileage, but it can take it. It's a 2005 Toyota RAV4, good condition overall. Let's see if it starts up. Yes, it does. And let's check to see what the codes are looking like. And it looks like there's a pretty good amount of codes coming up. Some of them I don't really mind, but the catalytic converter code is on as well, and I really don't want to get into a job like that, so just gonna pass on it. Another pretty high mile car, the 2005 Toyota Sienna. But again, it's a Toyota. People will still buy it. They could still take it. Could probably go up to like 400,000 miles and be good. And it looks like it's in good condition. And although this might not be the fanciest car, this is the type of car that definitely would still sell right now. There's always going to be families that need some vans. Let's see if it starts. Yes, it does. It's crazy how smooth it still runs, having such high mileage. But is the engine light on? Let's see what it's on for. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen with this one. It also has a catalytic converter code, so gonna have to pass as well. And we are just in a lineup of higher mileage Toyotas. This is our next one. Is a 2005 Toyota Matrix, 206,000 miles on it. Inspection, that's good. A little bit longer, up until June. Looks like the side mirror is gonna have to be changed out. It's a little bit of nicks on the back, but nothing too crazy. And does this start? Yes, it does. Another one that also starts. Doesn't show there's any codes on the system, but let's see, as you know, if there's any codes that's cleared. Okay, so this one's actually looking pretty good. It has one confirmed code on for system 2 lean code, but it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing that we can't really fix ourselves. We'll just have to see exactly what it's coming from. But let's check to see what the rest of the stuff is looking like. All right, we're just gonna do the same checks. Check on the engine cap. Looks good, as well as under the dipstick. Also looking good. See if there's any leaks around the system. Still trying to make things a lot quicker than normal, but everything is looking good so far. No leaks underneath as well, and also no rust. All right, thank God this one's looking good as well. There's a pretty decent amount of choices we have today, and thank God also there's not too many people that's driving around checking to see if anyone's driving the cars. But this will be another one we'll be bidding on. And there's the next one right here. This is just all the reliable cars just lined up together. But this is a 2005 Honda Civic, has 170,000 miles on it. It's in pretty good condition as well. Inspection ending this month. All right, looking good. Let's see if it starts. Do we have another possible one? Yes, it does. Running buttery smooth as well. Doesn't show us any codes, but let's see what it is. All right, let's do the same thing with this one. Check under the cap. All right, looking good. Dipstick's looking good as well. Doesn't look like there's any leaks. Check underneath as well, also looking good. So we got people over there that's probably gonna say something if I go to drive the car out, but everything's been looking good so far. I'm probably just gonna have to come back to this one before it actually goes through the lane. So there was supposed to be a car right here, B147, a Toyota Camry, that was supposed to come up, but it looks like it's not here. I don't know if somebody test drove it and then just parked it somewhere else, but oh well. Going to the next car. And here's the next one. This is a 2008 Audi A4, has 160,000 miles. Looks like it's in good condition too. All nice white. Has that quattro all-wheel drive system, and it has a manual transmission inside. But let's see if it starts. Yes, it does. Is there any codes on? So it looks like the engine light is on for a temperature sensor and a couple other things. To me, honestly, I don't really like to take chances like this with cars like these, like Audis and stuff like that, especially if they're at the auction. I don't know, it could be a lot of other stuff wrong with it, and clearing codes on an Audi or a Beamer or something like that sometimes could be a complicated task. So as much as I would love driving something like this for a little bit with the manual transmission and all, I might have to pass on it. Unless I end up seeing it going through the lane for a really cheap price, then maybe I'll try to take a chance on it, but probably gonna have to pass. And there's another car right here. It's a 2010 Honda Odyssey. Another one out there for the soccer moms. Looks like it's in good condition. Let's see if she starts up. And nope, doesn't start. Gonna pass. And there's one of the last cars I'm going to check out. There's a 2011 Hyundai Accent. Should also be within our price range. As you can see, cars are actually starting to fly by. The auction is starting up, so gonna try to close up with things. The good thing is that most of the cars that we are bidding on is later in the run lane, so not too bad. Such a tiny little car, but let's see if it starts up. Yes, it does, but no, there's no check engine light on either. But let's see if there's a code that comes up. And the codes have been reset with this one as well, so not gonna happen. And there's the next one that we should have in our price range as well. There's a 2021 C8 Corvette. Looks like it's in pretty decent condition, not too shabby. All right, let's jump inside, see what the interior is looking like. Not bad also. Does she start? Ah, dang, it doesn't start up. It sucks too. I definitely would have had enough money to bid on this. I think we probably could have got this for around $2,000, but maybe next time. All right, now we're gonna go into the auction. Some of our cars are starting to go through. We'll see what we can get. And also, as a real quick thing too, just keep in mind that when these cars are going through the bids, they also have buyer fees that's associated with it as well. I'm gonna try to throw up on screen what the buyer fees is like for Odessa. So when you're going to auctions yourself, make sure you're taking this into account as well. Don't just think that that top line that you're bidding for is going to be the only price.
You'd like to be better, sir. $2,400, $2,000 bill for you now for. Looking for $2,400 bill, $2,000 bill for. Looking for $2,400, taking outside. Right, that's it.
So I was going to bid on that Ford Explorer, but I didn't even see it in the listing. But when it was going through the lane, it looked like it had structural damage. And I was willing to go up to $2,400 for it, which is actually what it sold at. But with structural damage, I don't think that's really that great of a deal. Whoever's selling it is probably going to be selling it without even announcing that it does have structural damage, but I'm not trying to do that to somebody.
That would get 2,000, 2,000, 15, 16, 17, 17. Already put you at 16. 17, 1,700, 17, 17 back there, buddy. 1,700, 1,800, 18 now. 18, 19. Roll it out of here. 19, 2,000, 2,000, my man. 2,000. 2,000, get 2,000. One time. 2. For you, don't tell anybody though. 1950, 2,000. 2,000, get 2. I don't know. 1950. Go ahead. Don't tell anybody I took a 50 though. 14, 14, 14, my man. 14, 15. Roll it out of here. 15, 16, 16, buddy. 16, 16. Hit me again. 16, 16, 17, 17. And put you in. 17, 18, 18. 17, 18, 1,800, 18. Work for you, buddy. 18, 18, 18, 17, 18, 18. You doing good, man. What happened? 1,800, 1,800, 1,800, 1,800. Everybody give me on the 1,750 if you don't tell anybody. 1,750? Yeah? Yes? Well, good? You want it? 1,800? Yeah, sure. 1,800, you want to get 18? You want 1,750? Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, man. All right, that's it. I hit my quota from 50s.
Okay, so that was all of the cars that we were bidding on. Unfortunately, we didn't have the best luck at the auction itself. There was a couple of cars that I could have potentially won, but for me, I like to set a max of what I'm willing to go for the cars so that I don't end up getting emotional and overbidding on the car and then not making much profit off of it. If I see that it goes above that max, I just stop there. And unfortunately, that's what happened with each car. But at the same time, at the beginning of the video, I did say that we're gonna have some type of car to keep the series going. And let me show you guys what it is. This is it right here. It's a 2004 Toyota Camry. It has 216,000 miles. As you can see, I also did get it from the Odessa auction, but I just didn't get it the time that I was expecting to put it into the series. I was actually just getting it for myself to flip from our own set of cars. But this is how it's looking. Overall, it's not in bad condition. There is a little bit of clear coat peeling on the back there, but we'll see what we can do about that. The weird thing is that there's no codes that's coming up, but at the same time, it also seems like it has an air leak coming out from the engine bay. You're probably not gonna really hear it much on camera, but there's a pretty loud hissing noise, and it has a bit of a loss of power when it starts to go up in RPMs. I bought this car all in for around $1,500. So the good news is that that does give us enough money to be able to get 2 cars at one time. So not only am I going to be looking to flip this car, but I'm also going to be looking for another car to continue the series as well. Because again, we did work up to having around $3,400 to put back into the series. $1,500 of it is into this, so we still do have some money to get another car as well. And one last thing, I'm also going to be putting together a live training for you guys to teach you guys how to get into auctions just like I do without having your own dealer's license. I'll be having it around 2 weeks from now. All you have to do if you want to get access to it, just go into the link in the description. You can register for it and then just make sure that you're there when I'm going to be live. But that's it, guys. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to be alerted when that next video drops. All right, guys, till next time, peace.